And I feel like 2026 is my year. I am facing, but it's just weird because you expect, right? Again, now you're happy, you got the boyfriend or you got the marriage. But now in the back of your head, it's this little tiny thing being like, don't fuck it up.
That's what I mean. Like it could all go away. Like be like this. It's being scared, right? Like it being scared.
And then you attract more of that.
Because you keep looping it in, like
Yeah.
having the same conversation. So I think you're already doing amazing by talking about it, because you're like, you told me, you're putting a voice to it. Like you're actually like, hey, validating this is what's happening.
Welcome to Delulu Magic. I'm Paola.
And I'm Gabby.
And we're so excited to be here again today. Today we're talking about what we call money PTSD. So
we're creating our own topics. I feel like when we bounce off of each other, trying to figure out what are you dealing with right now, which I think is what we're doing, right? Like,
yeah.
I feel like whenever we discuss like a topic, I think we really want it to be about kind of what we're going through, and then we take our the things we're discovering as we go, because that's part of the journey of being here, and then kind of venting. I don't know. I realize that it's like kind of validating it and bringing it up and just being like, okay, what's awareness?
And the fact that it's normal, I think it's something that so many of us hide, and then everyone just feels like they're on their own island. And I feel for me, I think, if you know a little bit of our backstory, we both come from immigrant parents, really hardworking parents, but there was a lot of maybe not lack that we saw. I never really, again, felt it. I always had food, I had clothes, not the best clothes. But I know that there was always that energy of like, maybe there's not enough, like it is, tight. And I feel like the same thing in your household, right?
Well, I don't, for me, like specifically, I never felt that. I don't think I heard. I just kind of saw that mine was more of like work, and then save. And then the whole for later, there'll be a time, kind of like always like putting it.
Yeah.
But what I had was good. Like I never felt lacking. But I do know like there was a lot of sacrifice. Like that's so mixed up. Like I put it on my chatita, which is my AI, and it was just like my mall. I got all kinds of freaking my money stuff comes from a lot of people's beliefs and not just my own. Like what I saw.
Well, for sure. I think it runs so freaking deep, and I think that's what I've discovered. I mean, there's definitely a lot of different struggles. I think that every individual struggles with. I just never knew how freaking deep my money wounds or money just ideas or my examples ran. And I feel like, especially these last 2 years, I've really been uncovering them. And, after high school, my goal was like, I'm going to graduate, go to college, get a job, right? And then I started in pharmaceutical sales, made money, and I was always like that saver. And so I felt like really good. I was like, great, this is fantastic. But then, you have little things. You get into a little credit card debt and you're like, no, I'm fine. Like, now I paid it off. And it's this little cycle. And eventually my husband and I were like, our thought process, even though I think he came from more middle class, I don't think he saw as much maybe lack or scarcity as I saw, or like felt that energy. And I get it. My mom was like a single mom, like seeing that. I have no idea how she did it. Like, kudos to her. I cannot imagine even like the mix of shame, right? Of not being able to get your kids certain things or do certain things or take certain classes. Like if I have to tell my kids no, I feel shame. And I can't imagine what she had to go through. So I feel like lately for me, like my main thing is had a lot of financial success, then some financial loss. I feel like, a lot of people go through that. But man, the Lulu Magic has been so amazing. God has been so amazing, blessing me with, all these, like I've been selling a lot. December was amazing, like an incredible month, selling a house. And so I see all this incoming money and I'm like, how am I still stressed? Like, why? How is it that you get stressed
from not having
and panicky and anxious if you don't have enough, right? You're like looking at bills or whatever. But then when whatever you've been asking for or working towards comes, whether it's money, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a house, now you're all of a sudden like, that's a stressor, because you have to figure out, like for me, I'm like, oh my God, now the real work happens. Have I fixed my money, or have I cleared my money patterns enough? Like it's kind of scary. And I think a lot of people don't talk about it, how you have to, whatever the issue is, like feeling safe and like regulating your nervous system so that you don't go back into those old patterns of like, oh my God, I'm still scared, because then you're just like putting that energy out of, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to handle this. And I think that's what it comes down to. I'm like, oh my God, am I going to be able to handle, like I wasn't, if I had so much money before, maybe I wasn't able to, my vessel wasn't ready to handle all that, right? And I feel like I kind of pushed it away because of my money scarcity thoughts. Like, I don't want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And it again, that's why I call it money PTSD.
It is PTSD, but I feel I'm listening to you and I think it's like not trusting yourself.
Yeah.
To receive what's coming.
Because
your pattern. You don't want to look. You have to look. We talked about this. It's the pattern. You're like doing your pattern kind of recognition, because what have you done before?
Yeah.
Right? Like acknowledging that. So it's kind of, I see it, seeing you and hearing you is kind of like you're not trusting that you can do it. And that you've done all this, you're doing the work. Because I'm going to call it work, where it's just like we talked about important mental health is. We talked about our physical stuff as women and all the things and the parenting. This is another thing that nobody has taught us. Like I told Paula earlier in the week, all I've talked about is this all week. This is what I deal with. Like my job, like I
just like a CFO.
Well, basically, and then I deal with it in and out, and I have to go. And then for personal stuff, I'm not as good as I am with it as work, right? Like as work, I could, because I'm accountable to other people, and I know that my responsibility is very high. Like I better be on it. But with my own self, I can be all or nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Like I know that it's life is short, and that I've taken that. I will say that my husband rubbed off on me with that he's like, oh, look at what's happened. People think that later they're going to have health and they're going to have all that. So it's enjoy it now, because we are in middle age. Right. But that too can go way too far. Like you have to be able to kind of live in that middle line. And my God, like last week I went with my daughter. She loves Barnes and Noble like I do, and we could be there for hours. And I just sat and took myself and walked over to like the not the self-help, because I live in that space, but I moved over to like, it's not even, I don't know what I should take a picture, but it's kind of like not finance, but like money. And there's so many books for women, because I think it's a huge thing with women that we don't talk about it. Nobody brings it up. No, we weren't shown, our generation. I mean, we came from our parents, immigrant, like my parents came, and it was work, save, hustle, and still to this day, work, hustle, save, and enjoy a little, but not too much, because so that's when I talk about my line, that it's all or nothing. Like you're gonna go enjoy it and just do it, but or not at all, because you could fucking lose it at any moment. The shoe could fucking drop and everything's gonna be gone. And what are you gonna do if you can't fit? What are you gonna do? Like, and that's like some heavy weight that we carry. And I think for women, it's not talked about often, right? Because that goes back to, I'm assuming that being in our masculine and being like that we're responsible for it all. But because we don't understand where that's coming from, not being safe or trusting, and that's what it is, that I don't trust that it will be there.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to. Damn, like this month, I'm sorry for saying damn, but it's like I'm clearing everything out of my house, because I'm like, what is it the need to have stuff I don't use? Because I'm already putting that into my energy, my space, that I have a lot, but I don't appreciate it. I don't use it. So how do I expect to keep whatever I need to come in if I'm not actually being aware of what I'm with what I have been given? Is kind of like, either I'm gonna use it, give it to somebody, or figure out what to do with it. But I can't stay in that stagnant holding on. Like I think it's like a hoarding of like fear. It is hoarding, because my God, I moved 3 years ago, guys, and I was like, never again will this happen. And now I'm like, how the F did this happen again? Like, and there's just not like, it's just dumb things that I'm like, why are these being kept, like little ribbons and little things? And I'm like, who needs this?
My kids are like, Mom,
yes,
I might need this later.
So I think, we're having this conversation today because we're obviously going through it.
Yeah.
And it's the beginning of the year and trying to clear out more, doing our work to clear out, right? So you right now feel you're not in a space of trusting what's
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like it's the last, not the last, and like I feel like
Yeah.
then I'll be evolved and I'm like perfect.
I'm enlightened.
But I feel like it's the thing that
It's a big
it's
one.
like the thing that you are, what do they say? Like not facing the what reason what you resist
Persist.
persists.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, and I even asked ChatGPT for the plan. Like I had a whole like I'm tapping, I'm like I'm safe. And even just like the fact of I can learn. I get nobody educated me on like money. And I think so many of us, right?
Yes.
How to or even how to like once you make a certain amount, like how you handle that, how you even budgeting. I was like, I want to have someone, I don't even have to budget. Money likes to be seen. It likes action. It likes movement. Yes. Like
Flow, I call it. Like it's
I
gotta
went
go
to a
in and
class
out.
and the guy was talking about that. And I was like, oh, and money likes speed.
Yes.
And money likes for you to like, yeah, like look at it and just know where things are going. And so much of my life, I never realized. I was like, I'm how much of an avoidant personality.
Your personality.
Yeah, just in general. Like I was like, oh, if that's negative,
Your
I'm
style.
gonna avoid it. I don't watch the news because I'm like, I'm not gonna view that. I'm not gonna put that in my realm. If it's something negative, I'm like, I'm just gonna like cut that off. Versus like facing it and dealing with it.
That's scary.
Yeah. And I'm learning this in my 40s. Like, oh, you're supposed to confrontation, like we just breaking up then I guess like
It's over.
can't do that. So it is something that I'm really glad that I'm facing. And I think even like when we went to Danny Morale and Lewis house and it was all about money.
Yeah.
And I feel like 2026 is my year. I am facing, but it's just weird because you expect, right, again, whatever now you're happy, you got the boyfriend or you got the marriage. But now in the back of your head, it's this little tiny thing being like, don't fuck it up.
That's what I mean. Like it could all go away. Like be like this. It's being scared, right? Like it being scared.
And then you attract more of that
because you keep looping it in, like having the same conversation. So I think you're already doing amazing by talking about it because you're like you told me you're putting a voice to it. Like you're actually like, hey, validating this is what's happening.
Like I don't know how many other women feel like this or men. But I feel like it's a lot. Or
I think I see it for a lot of women because I have a lot of conversations. Yeah. I work with mostly women and everybody works with money stuff, but it's crazy that we don't think about how much it impacts our life, our mental health. It's just day to day and going into the energy woo-woo talk, but it is you're gonna keep repeating the pattern.
Yeah.
Like if you don't change, like I have to tell myself it is like every single day, like no. What is that? Like that self-talk, I'm like, okay, same tapping. It's okay. You can do this. You're not, and it's not scary. It's, you've made mistakes and recognizing things like that. And then being aware that I have that I'm like, I love to read. And right now I'm watching some like YouTubes. I'm following like some, a lot of women. I'm following a lot of women because it resonates with me how they talk about it, how we get so lost in the, either we're just working and we don't want to deal with it because we assume the man's going to take care of it, right? Or it's all on us and then we're supposed to be the ones rescuing everybody.
Yeah.
So we're both on these like realms of like,
yeah.
Like
and
how,
I feel like
how
on both
becomes,
of those.
yes. And so it becomes like that, like one of my I've got like 3 books going on right now, but one is like called it a like kind of like we're like a domestic engineer for the household, and then I've told you about how we're like a CEO of our families, like all these roles that are so heavy, and then you add in the money, it's we that's why we burn out, like we just we don't want to look at it. And that's another thing that when we don't look at it, we're pushing it away, right? Because we're just like, you're not important to me.
Yeah.
I'll hide it because don't even get ADHD in there because of shit. You're never going to look at your bills or you're not going to confront anything that happened because you're like later.
I should have taken a photo. It's embarrassing. So I'm glad I didn't, but I should have. No. Bags. Like, I know. I mean, this is, but like, and also because I get barely busy and I'm like, oh, I'm going to open it all. But I was like, oh my God, there's so much mail. Like, it's just so much mail.
Yeah. Take your medication like I did. I did that on the weekend and you get it done. Like I talked about that when I said the other day. I was like, okay, because I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to resist it. Yeah. Because that's what I'm doing. I do resist too. Like I won't look. So I hide kind of like, and that tells already like, how is my money or how is my things going to be okay if I'm already pushing it It's not important. And I know it's not supposed to, it is important, guys. I don't care what anybody says. How else you get through life? Like you can have a good balanced life, and you don't have to be in this huge, everybody knows what they need to live and be happy, I think, right? But you can't get away from it. It's part of
it's the thing that we have to deal with every day. And I think it's the thing that we don't even realize how much of the way we view it has been impacted since you were little. Like seeing either your parents fight about money, talk about money, not talk about money.
And then also the people you were around, like even your other extended family members, if you grew up and seeing different things happening, right? Like people doing certain things that you're just kind of like, well, how or why, or just nobody has the conversations. And then teaching, I think learning is a massive one. Like right now, I don't know if you did that, but I didn't talk to my kids about money at all. Like, and then I came at them the past few years. They're like, my God, why? And they're always like, do we have nothing? And I'm like, well, you have nothing, but I do. But you could, is the reality. But then I think it's a lot of pressure on them. But then I think, no, I would have loved for my parents to have sat. My parents, so the backstory, like Paula said, we came in, work hard. I talked about it before. My family's been very successful. My own nuclear family, extended, all the things. Nobody talked about it with us. We were just like, work, go. And then all of a sudden, like in my 40s, but don't mind that, 40s, then it was like, here, you need to take care of all of this. How in the mindset do you think? So it has taken me like dry eyes from reading, from sitting with people. Now I've learned, thanks to social media, that I need to be around people that know more than me, that know how to manage. I need to be surrounded by that kind of environment, because now I have to be like a steward. Like now there's like companies to take care of it. And it's not just my stuff. Like it's huge, right? Nothing was said prior to that though. It was kind of like,
I'd be like, I'm having
show up. Yeah, I had high blood pressure, went to therapy for how many years. I was super sick. I realized my body had told me for years, it was like, well, this is a lot. Like, and now I delegate. I mean, 2025 was a lot of clearing. I'm still clearing. I still have had this, past week has been nothing but this conversation, just, with my children, with my adult children, the children in college, the ones that are working, trying to go out on their own. Then, having conversations with my husband, like, what does our year look like? Like, well, we're going to talk about this every month, because that's not even something we talked about, because, you're just going to go with it. You're going to assume it's going to be okay. How, if you don't actually have a plan?
Yeah, I never knew you were supposed to like meet monthly to talk about just
what's going on.
I think even relationship, like what could I be doing better? What was good this month? What was not good this month? I feel like I just went into life like, like I don't know.
No, we're trying to be spontaneous and fun.
I didn't know people did that. Or even like
the goals.
As I'm reading or like listening to podcasts, like sitting down, checking your bank and like making sure, okay, great, this is like reconciling basically.
Well, that's why I dropped out of accounting, because I wanted to burn my head off. And when I was in my 20s, and I was like, I would kill myself if I have to do this forever. And now I'm like, this is all I do. This is all I do. Like I tell people, match it. Did it match? Did it go in? No. That's how my life is every day.
Oh yeah. I just basically I recently downloaded a budget thing.
Yes.
So I'm doing all the things. It's something that I thought, would be good to talk about, because it's scary, and it's like a mind kind
and
of
and it can take control of you. Like most of your day, it can kind of come in and be like, hey, don't forget, like, what are you going to do now? And then I don't know if things come at you, because we both have the children that are like going into different seasons, and they're coming at you, and you're knowing that things are coming, like expenses or things. And you're like, oh, is that okay? Should we do it or not? Is it the time, like having a lot of hard conversations with yourself, and then with them, with your husband, it's like a whole freaking company itself.
It was just like, uncovering. You're just like shoveling. I'm like, okay, I don't know. Let's see how deep this is. But I also want to do it not just for them. Obviously, I do want to be able to learn and teach them, or at least be like, read this book too. I don't know. Hopefully,
I just sent my daughter that in college. I sent her like a girl I follow, a young girl, but I was like, hey,
early,
go watch her stuff. And she's like, what's this for? I'm like, because it's important to kind of talk about it.
Absolutely. I think the earlier you start, I wish somebody would have, absolutely. But I had to go through that journey. That was part of my journey to be able to, like, even Delulu Magic, I think, wouldn't have come out of us.
Yes.
Right, in a way, if I hadn't gone through certain things. So I'm grateful for that, and I think hopefully I can learn so much that maybe I can even, help others, especially like help the kids, or I feel like our teens, like, we don't talk about money enough. I know
But we're doing the same thing, right? That was done to us. Like we're trying
in a better situation.
yes, we're trying, and we're like, we got it. So you don't have to worry about anything because I've got it. But you need to know that why I've got it. Kind of, there's things that could, like it's the reality of how it moves and works and what you need to be doing. Like, here's what I did. Kind of, I don't know. I still don't have, like, my parents don't have conversations like that. My parents are in their 70s.
Yeah.
And they're just still like in the mindset of like, you need to be working, you need to be thinking about the future. Yes, we all do. But let's talk about how to, nothing about budgeting. Super important, right? Like learning what your lifestyle, like, what does it mean? What do you want to spend on? What do you want to have? Like,
what's important?
what's important? Like, because not everybody's the same. Like, do you really need to be having like, your gym extra things, or do you need like all that stuff that we don't think about? And when you look at it, people are kind of like, oh shit, and then you wonder why. You're like, okay, I like me, my husband laughs because he said we were somewhere and I don't know what he was talking about. Jewelry. I love little things. I've always been like that. And he said something about women having big rings when they're wealthy and all that. And I was like, oh, that's great. And he's like, I said, I've never, he's like, you have never heard you say, oh my God. And I said, what do I like? He goes, you want to travel. You want to have experiences. You want to celebrate with people. You want to have time that's what your money for. And I was like, yeah. So I recognize that about myself. Just like I know that for some people, it could be the material things, or some people it could be giving back, or it could be growing businesses to help others, all that. But like recognizing that, I think it's important.
Yeah.
And then it goes back into what does your budget look like? What does your budget look like for the quarter, for the half year, for the year? What do you want like that specific year to look like for yourself? Because not ever talking about it and just rolling the fucking dice. No, you end up feeling like, even when you have it, it can be so fucking stressful because you're just like, are you serious? Like,
Yeah.
I'm at what age am I? I'm still not like actually acknowledging, what my patterns are.
Yeah.
Because I'm do the all or nothing, because I was shown that always to just keep and hold and hoard, going on, and hold. And then because if you go the other way, you're not gonna have anything.
That was me. I think even when we had like the most I've ever had, I was like, oh no, like we're not stupid shit. Like I'm not gonna pay the credit card bill, like all of it, because the investment is like making more over here. It's like, no, fool, like just pay it all. Like, because what happens if that's that
yeah, you're left with that. Yeah,
like just silly stuff. I mean, a lot of, and I would never like spend on myself.
yes.
And then now I do, but then even then you have like the guilt of,
Oh no, I
like,
know.
Last episode I'm like, oh, we went to New York.
Yes.
So, and I'm glad we did. But then also the little Becky voice
was like, still there.
How'd you do that? Like you should have,
So it came back and kind of took over, especially with
but
having an influx of
yes.
So it probably feels
are you doing the right thing? And I'm like, I don't know if I'm
doing the right thing, dude. Who knows? Jesus, take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. Somebody do it, because I can't.
But I'm glad, and I think it is something that so many people struggle with, and I feel like, and so many people have shame.
Yes.
About it. Yeah, I know, and they can definitely. I think sometimes it can be so crippling and debilitating, and I think especially with finances, because it's the thing you have to see every day. It's like if you don't have,
that's what I said.
And you're like, oh, your kid's like, Mom, can we go to Starbucks? And you're like,
not today.
And even if you do have the money, it's like you're still like, oh, that's $15 or that's $20 or.
But putting it in your head constantly, I know.
Yeah, it's like all day. You're like, oh, let's go to Target. You're like, damn, no, because Target, you can't get out of here.
No, $150, girl. With teenagers,
like an entrance fee.
Yes.
So I think it's the thing that we deal with, and you have to face every day. But yeah, you don't want to, face every day. So it becomes difficult. But I think, everybody's on a different journey, and I'm glad that I'm finally facing it.
Yeah.
And I'll let y'all know
how to be learning to be secure. Kind of when I hear you right now, I just thought that like being secure, because even like being secure that, hey, I have it and we could do the things, and I'm not going to constantly be doing that self-talk where I'm like, is this the smartest thing to do? Because it's like you're really not really feeling being the secure style, right? Because you're really questioning it right away, because you're like, yeah, I'm doing the things, but I'm in my back of my head, I'm like, fuck.
And all the
Should we
you're
should
not
we have not done
shifting.
that? Like, why questioning all the things and not being secure and trusting that the decisions you make are okay because you know it's gonna come in and out and flow and all the stuff, and you're not gonna
Yeah, like money
question
goes out,
yourself.
but it's okay because it
It
always
comes
comes
in,
back too.
yeah.
And I forgot what I was gonna say, but yes.
No, but it just going into those conversations, like, no, I don't, I've just begun to have them. Like I said, if everybody gets annoyed with me in my house, I'm like, now we're gonna, you know, because this is what I do when I leave. When I go over there to the offices, that's what I deal with, you know, on a rolling thing, and I can't get away from it, so I gotta come home and
impart my knowledge.
yes, and I gotta actually start buckling down and looking at the things,
Yeah.
you know, instead of pushing it away. Learning to be smart.
So when you do, I think see yourself going to like that negative or like, oh my God, the scarcity, I think it's just really important too. And it's not the easiest. For me, it definitely is a thing. I can talk myself out and delulu my mindset on quite a few things. This is the one that's the most challenging for me. And it feels like it really, like I really have to sit there and like talk to myself, like reparent and talk and like try to like have my body feel safe. Because if you continue on that, then you're just, I feel like attracting more of the scarcity if that's all like that's looping in your head. So I don't know. What tips do you have for me?
That's it. No, I'm listening. I do the same. I've done them all week, but I'm like, you're okay. You know what you're doing. You obviously know how to handle things. It's not gonna be, you know, that's scary. Like, and just keep learning. Keep listening to people, reaching out to people. I that's such an important thing. I think anything that affects your life, you should definitely go out and learn. Like, find out a way to get some kind of information, knowledge, and just be aware that it's going to feel so uncomfortable. It's going to be very hard, but we can handle most things, you know, and get through them. That's what we're here for. If we get not avoiding them, because obviously we don't, that's not a good style for any of us.
It is not. I learned that in my 40s. What you resist persists. I was like, damn it, you're right.
All these quotes, and now we know where they come from.
Yeah. They were all true. They were all true.
We were resisting.
Yes. Yeah. So learn, podcasts, and I think we'll recommend a couple as we're listening, or any books that we read that are like really great about this, because we're learning too. So any recommendations?
I know, and I love that you talk about you were doing the 30-day thing, like you're just listening to that.
Yeah.
About learning, and that's like if it's tied to like, you know, feeling like your spirituality or your faith, it comes from that as well, like believing that, you know, you're gonna be okay, like through most of whatever life hands you, but it continues to have some kind of support, I think, just like in anything else you go through.
Yes.
So you could get some of the PTSD. It's not gonna go right. It will not go right away because we are here testaments to it. But you just got to talk about it, vent.
And I think once you do get it out, I think it's just part of half the battle.
Yeah.
And then facing it, get it out, and
taking action, like we always talk about. You know, stay the Lulu.
Yes, and make it happen.
So see you next time.
Bye.